Hello everyone, today I'm here to talk about books that help me find my way. This video is kindly sponsored by Penguin Teen in celebration of the release of I Have Lost My Way by Gayle Forman, which comes out March 27th. Gayle Forman is known for writing those really hard-hitting contemporary books that just kick you right in the gut. This one sounds just like that. This book is quintessentially all about three strangers that meet. We have Freya, who loses her voice while recording her debut album. Aran is making plans to escape from everyone he's ever loved. Nathaniel is arriving in New York City with a backpack, a plan, and nothing left to lose. A fateful accident draws these three strangers together, and they begin to understand the way out of their own loss is maybe helping others with their loss. This book just sounds amazing. It's about three strangers that meet, and they begin to help each other with their problems and things like that. So I am very, very excited to read it. So, not only is this book coming out soon, Penguin Teen is actually offering a really awesome pre-order incentive. Anyone who pre-orders and uploads their receipt, which I will leave the link down below for that, a free copy of either If I Stay or Just One Day by Gayle Forman. So you can choose which one of these you want, and that's awesome. You can also send a postcard to Penguin Teen, which I will leave down below, and you could also have a chance to get one of these books as well. So it's amazing. Buy one book and get another one for free. So all you have to do is upload your receipt and saying that you have pre-ordered I've Lost My Way, and you can get one of these bad boys for free. So like I said, I'll leave all the information and links down below for that. Or you could send a postcard to Penguin Teen and you can get one of these books as well. So that's a pretty awesome incentive, I think, so definitely check that out. Since this book is all about losing your way and trying to find your way, this book has inspired a list of books that help me find my way. And this could be different for every single person. It's very much individualized. For me, books that help me find my way are books that feel like home to me, my comfort type of reads, books that I just feel like I'm very in familiar territory, just books that when I read them, I feel like I'm coming home, I feel like I'm found my way, and it's just amazing. So I'm going to share with you some of my picks of books that I think help me find my way. So first up, I'm going to go with the cliche answer and say Harry Potter. Harry Potter is my #1 pick and #1 book that really helps me find my way. Harry Potter is like home to me. I grew up with Harry Potter. I started reading it when I was 12 years old, and I have fell in love with it, and it was a big part of my life, and it's still very much a big part of my life. So this book, if I'm ever having just a really hard week or a really distressful time in my life, I always read Harry Potter. Right now I'm listening to this book in particular, The Prisoner of Azkaban, which by the way is my favorite book, and I just feel a sense of just happiness and warmth and just comfort in knowing that everything will be okay because I'm reading Harry Potter. Harry Potter is just one of the books that no matter what type of mood I'm in, it just helps me to feel a little bit more balanced, and mere words are not enough for Harry Potter. Speaking of books that make me feel like I'm home and just feel like home to me, and that is Sarah Dessen. Sarah Dessen is one of my favorite, probably my most favorite contemporary author. I just love her books. I've read them since I was 15 years old. I've read all of them. I've read them countless times. There are some that I love more than others, or some I don't love, but either way, I just love Sarah Dessen books. I feel like I learn about myself, honestly, when I read about Sarah Dessen books, because while they are lighthearted and kind of fluffier contemporaries, there's always kind of like a lesson to be learned in each one of her books. Take, for example, Truth About Forever is really about grief and, you know, how to deal with grief and learning that it's okay to grieve and everyone grieves differently. And Just Listen is all about speaking your truth. Something has happened to this main character in particular, and she's having a hard time, you know, telling the story of what happened. It's just about her listening and her about speaking her truth. So with each Sarah Dessen book, I feel like there's a lesson or like a moral of the story, if you will, but I feel so happy when I read her books. I just feel a sense of calm. I feel a sense of happiness. It's just amazing. I feel like coming home to me, and it really helps me find my way. Like I said, I don't know what particular books mean to help you find your way, but to me, books that help you find your way, just help you find your way to becoming a happy reader. And just, you know, sometimes you reread books a lot to just have you centered with reading. You could be in a slump or things like that, and Sarah Dessen is one that I always turn to. Another one is Eleanor Oliphant is Completely Fine by Gail Honeyman. I read this book a few months ago, and I loved it. I felt like this is such a quirky read, and it's just so comforting, and I love books where I can find comfort in them, where I can really connect with the main character. I can feel the same things that they are feeling, and I can just feel the ebb and flow of their story. This is all about Eleanor, who is a very socially awkward person, and she doesn't know how to interact with people very much. And basically this book is about her blossoming and her meeting new people and her, you know, getting out of her shell. And I loved that so much. It's definitely a quirky type of odd book because Eleanor is kind of odd in herself, which I love that about her. I thought that was amazing. So this book just makes me feel happy. Whenever I talk about this book, whenever I read it, I just feel happy and a sense of calm, and it makes me feel like, you know, like Eleanor is a character you really want to root for, and she feels like you're coming home to, like, after a long day. I love reading about Eleanor. Oh, I love this one so much. So if you're looking for like a good book that will put you in a good mood and just have overall happy vibes, I think this is a great book for it. It does have a lot of depth to it as well, but again, it definitely helped me on my way because I was reading a lot of serious books, and then I read this one and I was like, oh, this is amazing. We're gonna switch it up and talk about a really sad book now, but I definitely felt like it helped me find my way a lot, and that is The Names They Gave Us by Emery Lord. About a character named Lucy who's having a really great time. She's about to be a senior in high school. She's the captain of her volleyball coach. Her dad's a pastor, and then her mom's cancer reemerges again, and she's having a really hard time with that, and she's having a hard time with her faith with that and her faith in God. And basically in this book we have her go to this camp for troubled youth, and she's a counselor, and she meets a whole bunch of different people, and she really just kind of, this book I think is all about Lucy struggling with her faith, reconnecting with her faith. And the reason why I'm putting it on this list is because I really felt for Lucy. I'm a Christian. I know not everyone that reads this book is going to be a Christian. I think that's awesome, but I really connected with Lucy, and I really felt like this was a true depiction of Christianity, and, you know, for me in particular, honestly. And I really love that she struggled with her faith, and she had a hard time, and she was mad at God and all those other things, because I felt those things a lot too, and I still feel those things quite frequently. Every person's different. Every person on a journey of faith is different. But I just felt like this was coming, like I felt like this was the perfect book I needed at the right time. I felt like I really connected with Lucy, and it just made me find my way. I think if you're not a Christian, that's great. If you are a Christian, that's great. Whatever you may be, that's awesome. But I just really connected with this book. Then I have another old favorite. I swear, whenever like I'm in a down mood, I always either go to Harry Potter or I go to Sophie Kinsella. Sophie Kinsella is my favorite adult chick lit author. I just love her books. They're so funny. They're so lighthearted. They're so charismatic, and they just always put a smile on my face, no matter what the circumstance is. This one in particular, because I really felt like I connected with the character so much, and it felt just like it really honestly felt like I was finding my way with this book. And main character, Katie, and she's in her late 20s, and she's still grappling with what she wants to do in her life. She has a career that's kind of not going anywhere. Her love life's not that great. Money situation's not that great. So she actually gets laid off from her job, and then she goes to help her dad with this glamping business, and she really tries to find herself. This whole book is about her finding herself, and I did enjoy the fact that it did have a little bit of romance in it, but it was mostly about her finding herself with her career and just herself, honestly. There were so many passages in this book where she was talking about money and how her friends wanted to go out to this really expensive restaurant, but she couldn't. She would go and only get water because she couldn't afford that. But she's like, it's either the restaurant or paying electricity this month. And I cannot tell you how many times I've been put in that situation. It is so tough. Like, I don't think... like when you're in your late 20s, you're still learning how to use money and, you know, make sure your budget's okay and planning for future things and getting hit with all these unexpected bills. And just, it's a hard time living on your own, honestly. So I connected with Katie so much in this book. And it was definitely a book that just helped me found my way. And it made me feel like I was, like there were a lot of other people in the world like me that, you know, have a hard time with money and, you know, they pack sandwiches sometimes and can't go out to eat and stuff like that. That is me 100%. Love this book. And the last book I want to talk about is definitely an underrated book in my opinion. I don't think I've ever heard anybody talk about this book, and that is Close Enough to Touch by Colleen Oakley. This book got released last year, and it's just a woman's fiction book, and I loved it so much. It's a gem of a book. It really was like a breath of fresh air. It felt like coming home. It was like all of the things that I wanted in a book was in this book. About a main character, Jubilee. Jubilee is allergic to the human touch, so she can't go outside, she can't touch anybody, so she pretty much just locks herself up in her house day after day. She gets her meals delivered, she doesn't really talk to anybody except for her mother, and then her mother passes away, so Jubilee is kind of forced to go out on her own. She has to supply things for herself, she has to make money for herself, she has to kind of grow up and deal with things. And it's hard to do that because she's literally allergic to the human touch. So she gets the job at the library because she's a big avid reader, which I love so much. And there she meets a guy who has a adopted son, and it's just a gem of a book. It's so heartfelt, so beautiful, and it just puts a smile on your face. I love the fact that Jubilee loved reading so much, so she got a job at the library and how she connected with readers, and it was just so amazing. It felt like coming home reading this book. Oh, I adored it so much. So if you want a book that just gives you all of the happiness and kind of just warm feelings, I would highly recommend this one. Like I said, not a lot of people have talked about it, but I think it was amazing. There you have it. Those are some books that have really helped me find my way. You know, every book is different and every book can lead you on a different path and on a different way, but these books, just finding my way means comfort for me personally. It makes me feel happy inside. I do like to read a lot of darker fantasy books, but I don't turn to those when I feel like I'm lost and when I feel like I just don't know what to do with myself. I turn to a lot of books that'll make me smile and just make me feel hopeful. So those are some books that really encompass just that. So either way, I hope you guys enjoyed. Like I said, be sure to check out I Have Lost My Way by Gayle Forman, which hits shelves March 27th. And be sure to enter the pre-order incentive. Pre-order this, you get another book for free. You can't beat that. So I'll leave the links down below and the information for that. So definitely check it out. Again, to Penguin Teen for sponsoring this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I will see you in my next one. Bye.
Let me just say